Welcome to the George Groves Boxing Club deck. We are back.
We're back.
We
officially.
are officially back, and we are at the Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua weigh-in.
No presser.
Yeah. See, I'm brand new to this stuff.
Mate,
I'm rushing ahead.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about the weigh-in and thinking I'll probably not go into that.
They haven't taken their tops off yet, mate.
Have they not?
No. What do you make of these pressers, George? You used to be on the stage. You used to be the one having to sit there and listen to the question. Now you're on the other side. What do you think watching them?
Oh, it's hard. I mean, when you're up on the stage and your main event, so they've started with down the card and they're arguing, you're thinking, if I get out my phone and play Candy Crush right now, is that...
Have you done that?
Is that... Yeah. Any game, not exclusive to Candy Crush, any game, that is what you're thinking. But now there's there's the compere in the middle who just has to interview everyone on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be familiar with this.
Yeah, but it's like the anti-press conference. Like there was no press questions at this press conference. There aren't anymore, are there?
No.
It's just Addy. He did a sterling job though, didn't he?
He did a great job.
Addy Oladipo.
Well, the main event one, I was actually hanging out back, so I was waiting to grab someone and see if I could get a chance to have a little chat with them.
Yeah, did you get some?
It made me feel special, to be honest, Dec. I mean, I was sitting here with the rest of you. I don't want to say plebs, right? But the rest of you press.
Unwashed.
Press, yeah. Jostling for position. It's all elbows, and knees. I thought I'll wait out back and feel important. You wasn't allowed to step on the carpet, but fuck 'em, I stepped on the
Yeah, because
carpet.
you got your shoes on. What do you expect?
I ain't got the right lanyard.
No, you haven't. Firstly, though, George, does this mean we're back?
I think why not? It seems
We're like the
hammerhead
Hammerhead Sharks of podcasts, aren't we? We were gone for ages, come back for a bit, and fucked off again.
Well, that's back, isn't it?
But we're back, yeah.
The hammerhead. Do you keep saying we're the hammerheads? We don't even know if they're back or not yet.
No.
And if they're not back, fuck me, I don't want to be the hammerhead shark.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you were here, you watched the entire lot of the pressers, right? We'll go straight to the main event.
Right.
Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's making his third attempt at winning a heavyweight world title.
Yeah, if he wins, he will be a 3-time heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I know.
Joining an elite club.
Yeah, he is. And Daniel Dubois is already the world champion.
He's the IBF heavyweight champion. What's your view on that? Because that's been a bit of a talking point. So he beat Filip Hrgović for the interim.
Yep. Which then became vacant, he got elevated.
Yeah, because obviously Usyk got stripped because he had the contract rematch with Fury. It's happened before in history. Eddie Hearn says he doesn't like it, and this is the official vacant belt. He would say that because it's not his fighter, but you've had to fight legitimately to win a world title. He got elevated as one. Do you see this as...
Well, if he beats Anthony Joshua, then he surely, obviously, is legit.
Yeah.
So maybe in his mind, that's a good motivation or incentive for him to win.
This is like his world title challenge.
Because if he does lose, he is technically... But before this deck, he's not the first time he's been heavyweight world champion by... I think he had the regular WBA.
Yeah, the WBA regular. Beat Trevor Bryan in Miami.
Yeah, you was there.
I was there. I'll never forget that week.
That trip, didn't you?
Yeah, what a trip that was.
Did you see an alligator?
No, there was a dead rat, though, out the back. It was an interesting
And who
week.
was that within boxing?
No, I'm not going into that.
Oh.
No, it was a great week. So, but hey, there's Matt Macklin. There he is. Yeah, go on. He's done about 700 interviews as well. So, Anthony Joshua seems like you say, could win a world heavyweight title for the third time, and up there he seems like the elder statesman now, isn't he? 34 years old. Dubois, 26, 27. He's a young pup. And I don't know, he's always like kind of nervous and jittery, but he didn't want to say much.
Do you think? Because there's been rumours that that I've heard at least, have been here, that he's had a big falling out with trainer.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
But we heard from Frank Warren, which you will hear.
Yeah.
I won't spoil what he says because you've got to listen.
Oh, what? So you know you got an update?
He's clarified that situation for us, so you'll get that in a minute. But I wondered if that was, a contributing factor to his demeanour today, because he's spoken a little bit more in the build-up to this than he usually does. But to be fair to him, he's doing that more and more as these fights are going on. And if he is legitimately the heavyweight champion of the world, he's got to run his gums, isn't he? He's got to let his mouth go.
Yeah, he's getting much better. He's much better than the first time I interviewed him. He was a teenager at the Peacock. He really didn't like doing interviews then. He's getting much, much better. But I think he's had enough for talking.
Can you remember any of them lines?
Well, no, because they were about 4 words long.
Okay.
But I remember going down there.
So what would you have asked?
It was the first interview of Daniel Dubois, and it was like, he's the new Joshua. They'd signed him. He'd had 6 senior bouts or something, and it was like, but he just didn't. He didn't like.
What did you
converse.
ask? Obviously, this
What's
poor chap.
What's your favourite
He's
colour?
brand new.
No, that was that one where he said about his press ups. You ever hear that?
No.
He set a world record for press ups when he was like 8 or something.
Yeah.
And he didn't remember what they were, but he's in the Guinness Book of Records. He didn't
were.
remember what number it was, but apparently he just did press ups when he was a kid, and obviously Caroline and the boxing family and stuff.
How many press ups can she do?
Probably more.
It's not noted. All right.
I think we should get them together and see if we can do it for your new channel. Yeah. But having said that, Dubois is much better now. He says more, but I think he's had enough. To be honest, he's done Monday press day. He's done grand arrivals interviews. He's done workouts Wednesday, press conference. He just wants to fight. You know what it feels like when you get to I mean, you were on weight, so it's even worse. But they've done a lot of chat for a long time. They're just like, can we fight now?
Yeah.
But one man who loves talking still,
yes,
Frank Warren.
It is.
And I hear you were scuffling about like a proper journalist with your camera and your microphone, getting quotes.
Yeah, I think depending on the edit, you're going to be really proud of me.
Is this a first? This is a first for this podcast. You've never gone out on your own, done an interview and put it in this pod.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't feel threatened.
I'm fucked it.
You're still there.
If you're doing it now, I'm fucked. Okay, should we listen to what Fun Time Frankie had to say?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Frank, good to see you.
And you?
Do you make this promoting gaming? Is it getting easier?
Well, it is when you got the back end of Riyadh season. It makes it easier to make the fights for obvious reasons. But this is something of an iconic event, not just in boxing, but in British sport. I mean, it's a record-breaking crowd, 96,000 people, a fantastic, great main event. The two biggest punchers in the division, who are both on a roll, and so much at stake, the IBF title, and you've got an undercard that's just unbelievable undercard, competitive undercard.
Yeah. Who wins?
Triple D, the Dynamite.
Any predictions? They've got a round.
I don't think the fight's going to last long. I really don't. I'll be surprised if it goes over 6 rounds. And I genuinely feel, because of the styles of the guys and because of the punch power that got, it could actually be a British version of a Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler fight. I do think they'll be throwing bombs at each other.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't see how that can't be the case. I think you're right. 2 biggest punches in the division, and we won't hear that final bell. Does that not make you nervous though?
No, because it's going to be exciting, and what my thing about Daniel is that he's fast. He's a good finisher. If he gets him in trouble, then I believe he'll stop him, and that's going to be the thing. Of course, if he gets caught himself, it's going to be how he responds. It's not just about who punches hard. This is who's got the best chin.
Yeah, true. Well, my chin didn't last at Wembley Stadium. I don't think he was there that night, Frank. But it is an occasion. You come out and you just see a sea of faces. You see a sea of lights, camera phones facing it. Do you think Daniel's up for that challenge?
Yeah. Look, he fought in the Ukraine. He went to the Lions Den there. Sorry, in Poland. But the whole, 99% of the people there were Ukrainians. And he went into the Lions Den there, and he could have. I still believe he could have won that fight if it weren't for all the nonsense that went on with the referee and the low blow and the 4-minute break again to Usyk. But he's been on that stage. He's fought at Spurs on the undercard of Tyson. He fought on the undercard of the 94,000 at Wembley, it was probably 2/3 full when he fought that night. So he's used to it. He's used to that. Of course, there's going to be a lot of pressure, but you know what? That's boxing. You want to be the best, you've got to handle all this shit, and that's what you've got to do. That's what it's all about. And if you can't handle it, then you ain't going to win.
Well, Joshua is probably the biggest name that Daniel Dubois has faced in his career, but he's been in there with Usyk. He's been in there, great run of form now against Filip Hrgović. Is this fight easier than the Hrgović fight?
Well, I think this is the toughest opponent that AJ's had since he fought Usyk. I generally do. I mean, you look at his last couple of opponents, he'd done what he had to do against them, but they weren't like, certainly Wallin, he didn't look like he wanted to be there to me, but he did, and I'm not criticising AJ, he's done extremely well, and Ben's done a brilliant job with him. But Daniel's fought better quality opposition in his last 3 fights. He's fought 3 undefeated heavyweights, all world ranked. Fought for the mandatory challenger in Hrgović, which is also for the interim title. He fought Babe Miller, who's an undefeated fighter, and mentally thought he was getting to him. which was a good thing because I'm pleased he came through that. And obviously before that he fought Usyk. So, better quality, and he's got confidence. He's coming through. He's so confident. I mean, you see him today. He's not a big talker. He's not really interested in all the trash talk and all that. He just wants.
Do you think so? Because I think he spoke more in this build-up to any other.
He's been doing it his last couple of fights, but he seems very comfortable. And I said to him, it's great seeing that. Oh, sorry, I didn't say to him. I said to one of the team, I said, I like to see him when he's got a little bit more edge. Yep. But he seems so comfortable, and he really does feel it's his destiny. And they talk about the sparring, which was 10 years ago. He was 17, but he hurt him. He said it. He buzzed him. And I heard of various stories, but whatever happened, he knows that he can punch when he was 17.
Well, the rumour is that you were the first to hear it, and you signed him up the next day.
We did. No.
Frank, one more, yeah? Oh, perfect. Cheers, Frankie.
You sure you're good? Yeah, come on.
I've lost me one more, then. No, we're still going. Well, the last one was, I got it today, and they said that Dubois had a falling out with Don Charles' trainer.
Load of crap. Spencer Fearon talking garbage.
Right.
Don has flu. I've spoken to him. He sounds dreadful. He couldn't be here, but he'll be in the corner on Saturday. He's in bed. He's in the best place, and that's where he's at. Not a problem at all. And Daniel himself said that at the press conference.
Yeah. I mean, he looked stoic backstage, But then I was wondering, is the trainer not here? He's facing this on his own?
Do you know what? I think it's good sometimes that you're on your own, because you've got to be. AJ was up there on his own. That's what that's what it's got to be.
Yeah.
And it sorts the men out from the boys. And whatever way you look at it, he's a young man. He's just turned 27. He was a young man, maturing both mentally and physically. That seems to have happened in the last couple of fights. And as I say, he's in a good place. But for me, AJ's in good nick and whatever. But I've seen him when he gets clipped. When he fought Ruiz the second time, when Ruiz, who was, we all know he didn't train, but he clipped him in the fourth round with that left hook, and he went on his back foot. But he never had the legs to go and do it. This kid's got legs.
Yeah. Hagler Hearns, yeah?
I think it's going to be.
Which one's Hagler, which one's Hearns?
The winner.
Well, George, I don't know how to put this, but I've heard Frank Warren do a lot of interviews in his 45 years as a promoter. I think that's the best ever. It's the best Frank Warren interview I've ever heard.
Oh, thanks, mate. Well, off camera, he said the same thing as well.
Did he?
He said if only you could be the only one to ask me questions.
Yeah. Is that now on his contract? Only George Groves can interview me.
I don't want to be greedy like that. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. Well, so now you're a real journalist. Tell me, what's the top line?
I think he said...
What was the most interesting thing in that?
Well, I alluded to it earlier, that Don Charles is still in the picture. He's got the flu.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, that's worrying for me. Has he been breathing on Daniel this week? Sometimes, how quickly do them flu symptoms set in? I don't want to hear this as an excuse later on down the line.
No, I mean, he didn't look like he got flu.
No, he looks
you never know, it might come
on.
So there's no problem with Don Charles. Don Charles is fine. Because that would have been a bit of a bit... I mean, you know all about... splitting with your trainer before the biggest fight of your life. But
fight week, No, he...
and you did all right.
And I thought Daniel, I mean, as I say, I didn't see him up on the stage, but I saw him backstage, and he looked the business, Yeah. I like his get up, I like his look.
Like his suit?
Yeah, I like the suit.
You're a big suit man, aren't you?
Yeah, I think Joshua was the one who came in with those premium tracksuits. Before then, it was like cheap, nylon-y, plasticky sort of rubbish used to get, from down the Shepherd's Bush Market. Whereas he came in, I think it was French Connection first, exactly.
It's Under Armour now.
And now it's Under Armour. Yeah. Shout out Under Armour.
Yeah.
Big sponsors
Send
off
us some
the
stuff.
pod. Yeah, some stuff.
Big sponsors.
Yeah. But no, I'm still batting for the suit.
Yeah.
I think the suit was there. So, yeah, that was Warren. He was saying Don Charles is still, he's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. No problems there. I asked him, 90,000 people, Wembley Stadium, what's Daniel Dubois going to do when he walks out and he sees them? But he's convinced that he's going to be just fine. Yeah,
well, you can't prepare for that, can you? You can't, but you did that. You came out, did 80,000 at Wembley as a challenger, as Joshua is this time. He's done it, as Eddie said, 4 times at Wembley. This will be his 4th. He's also done Cardiff against Takam, Cardiff against Joseph Parker. What's it like when you walk out of that stadium? you walk out of that tunnel and you look up and see all those people, do your knees knock? That's what Eddie says. He says there'll be a moment when Daniel Dubois' knees will knock. Did yours?
No, mine didn't.
Did you have that moment,
the knees gave out a few rounds later, but before then they did not knock.
Yeah, they were pretty solid, didn't they?
But who knows? 80,000 I had, and these guys got 96. So I mean, this number just keeps creeping up, really, doesn't it?
Apparently that's it, and that's the record, and it's going to be. It's no more than that. 96,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they had to ask for an extension from the council.
Yeah, but they did that when I boxed.
Yeah, but now it's more important, isn't it?
You had to buy a bus ticket and come from Birmingham to get in that last
And you had to get a
20,000 when I
fucking bus
boxed.
just to get in.
And I had to get a bus to get in. Exactly.
Is it a factor though? Do you think the
bus?
the crowd? No,
The crowd.
The fact that there's 96,000 people there. Dubois boxed in Poland in front of 60,000 against Usyk, which
Was
was
it that
more
many,
hostile.
yeah?
And it was more hostile for him because they all wanted Usyk to win.
Yeah, but he didn't win, did
Yeah.
he? So do you
No.
think that might have played a
No,
factor?
No, because I think he boxed really well.
He boxed brilliantly, but he ran out of steam, didn't he? And do
Yeah.
you think the crowd being against him, if the crowd was on his side, he might have gone a bit further?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Do you think this crowd will be split?
No, yeah, I
Because I think these are boxing fans coming. They're not diehard Joshua and not diehard Dubois fans. I think they just want to see a knockout. I'll tell you what Frank Warren did say.
Go on.
He says he thinks it's Hagler Hearns too.
You said that about Froch Groves too.
I didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah, you did.
I did say that about Froch
But
Groves.
I think he's
I
right,
had no
mate.
intention of that. Maybe Dubois got no intention of that, but he
No.
wants to pretend that he's bringing that sort of heat.
I think he will.
I mean, that would be great for us.
I don't think he knows anything else, Daniel Dubois. I think he's going to be on Joshua.
Fast start from Daniel
Fast
Dubois.
start. I think, based on all that energy and like the whole atmosphere, I think he's going to go straight at Joshua. And I think then he could get cleaned out in a couple, or if he weathers the storm like he did against Filip Hrgović, it's problems for Joshua.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wouldn't do would turn southpaw.
That's the previous
we
record.
found that out. You lose in the second round, you turn southpaw. That was Ngannou. Forgot his name then.
Dylan
Ngannou.
White came out in the first round southpaw against Tyson Fury, and that was the previous record at Wembley. So let's not do that. I don't think Daniel Dubois is going
How
to come out
quickly
southpaw.
can you start southpaw?
Yeah.
I used to start before I beat everyone's record because I used to stand in the southpaw stance before the first bell. Weird
As an
superstition.
amateur?
Started as an amateur, but I saw it all the way
So
through.
your opponent's
Go
like,
back and watch.
oh fuck, he's southpaw.
Yeah.
I haven't sparred a southpaw the whole camp.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
would have been Froch. That's exactly what Froch thought.
Yeah.
Just before the bell rung at Wembley Stadium, he looked over and he went, "That looks a bit weird."
Yeah.
It looks like he's looking in a mirror or something. Joe, it's a bit distorted. It's, oh, fuck, he's in southpaw. And then while he's thinking that, the bell goes, and then I quickly turn, orthodox, and then his mind...
Okay, well, maybe Daniel Dubois is going to do that. I doubt it, though. Speaking of heavyweights, I also saw you interviewing one of our favourite heavyweights, one of the winner of maybe the best fight of the year so far,
Yep.
Derek Chisora.
Yes.
Should
Nice
we?
fight.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Should we-
He was so excited to do this interview, which you will see
Okay, should
from
we,
this interview.
Okay, I'm desperate to see it. Should we get?
Yeah, let's wheel him in. Going to the boxing Saturday?
Yeah,
Who's going to win?
AJ.
You sure?
Yeah, AJ should win. We want AJ to win to keep the spark going in boxing, British in boxing. You know, if he loses this fight, it's a long way back up, but it is what it is.
So what happens if he loses this weekend?
No, he's not going to lose. He don't want to lose. He's not going to lose.
Like you're part of an elite sort of club now of longevity, still performing at the highest level. Joshua's not at your level yet of longevity, but he's got a lot of experience. It's his third. What's the word? It's not a third attempt at winning world title, but it's his third chance at becoming a three-weight world champion. Do that again. It's his chance to become a three-time heavyweight champion. So, what is the secret for us for longevity within boxing? Because I don't know it.
The secret is the right dancing partner. But when I say right dancing partner, a beautiful wife. Right. That's the secret. If you got a beautiful wife as your pillars, you're okay. Longevity in boxing. That is God honest truth. It don't matter about how good you are, as long you got those pillars, 3 pillars in front, 1 in front and 2 on the side, you're okay.
That sounds great, Derek. I mean, so stable home, yeah?
Stable home makes a great athlete, bro. 100%. Because if the home is nice, that means you can go out and train better.
And do you still enjoy boxing now?
Man, I fucking love it, bro.
And does Joshua still enjoy boxing now?
He fucking loves it. As you can see, he's in shape. He loves the boxing now because now he believes in his trainer. He had a 9-week training camp. That's it, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, Derek. That is great. Nice one, mate.
They just keep coming, George. That's another award winner.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think what we should point out with Derek Chisora, though, he's from the same amateur club as Anthony Joshua.
Yep.
He's on his management label. They've been mates
He's
for...
got like a neat little medallion. I'm not sure. I'm
What,
down
an
with the
Anthony
kids.
Joshua one?
No, it was 258 management.
Oh, yeah. See, so he is going to probably back Joshua to win. But he's
Yeah.
nothing if he's not honest.
He is honest, Derek Chisora.
Yeah.
We caught him just at the right time. He was just ordering food.
Was he?
And
Five Guys?
Chisora. This is how Chisora orders. You know, he called up the restaurant. He said, "Have you got a table?" Right.
Right.
I couldn't hear the other end, so I don't know what he said.
It wasn't a Deliveroo
and
driver,
then,
was
no,
it?
no. And then he said, "Tell the chef, Chisora's coming."
No way.
I'm thinking, I don't know which restaurant he called,
Mm.
but next time I'm going out, I'm just going to call ahead.
Ask for the Chisora.
I'm just going to say, tell the chef, Chisora's coming.
Mm.
Obviously, when I turn up and it's not Chisora, there might be some confusion. But I reckon there ain't a spot in London where that don't work.
No, I want the Chisora. Tell him Chisora's coming.
Just tell the head chef Chisora's coming.
Mm. Well, that's Derek Chisora. So that's Frank Warren, Hall of Famer. You got Derek Chisora, who's definitely in the British Hall of Fame. Like what a legend of British boxing. That Joe Joyce fight, by the way, which we didn't get a chance to talk about, did we, on the pod?
No. We might
me.
come back to it. We're doing an anniversary.
Yeah,
in
I
about
think we should.
10 years time
we
or
should
something.
try and get Chisora. Now he's your best mate. We should try and get him on the pod, do a proper pod with him.
Yeah, that would be really good.
Yeah.
That would be really, really good. He's up for it. I'm sure. It's probably on his mind all the time. He can't stop talking about it.
No. Anyone else? Did you get anyone else, George? Because that's 2 big hitters. Got a hat trick?
I've got one more big hitter. Do you want to?
Did you?
Shall I announce it now, or we got a bit more talking?
Yeah. Why don't you announce it now?
All right. Talking about announcing it.
Do the voice.
Do the catchphrase.
Do the catchphrase.
Do the catchphrase. Do the catchphrase. Oh, there's a lot of instances in my life where I come across that sketch.
Yeah.
And it's do the catchphrase.
This
do
is
the
one of
catchphrase.
them.
And I'm like,
What's your
who-
catchphrase? You know when people stop
everything
you?
for a reason.
Is that what they are?
But that's not the
you
one
know
I
when
wanna
people
say.
stop you, what do they say to you these days?
Oh, it's not. I never got a catchphrase to stick in that regard.
Yeah,
but
people are
they
not,
would
like,
stop you and
shouting
go,
at
you know, I was at your fight, and then, you know, I could finish the sentence the same, you know, like Tom Cruise does with his stunt double, and it's like, Frotch at Wembley Stadium. Frotch Wembley Stadium.
Is it all?
I was there. Did you come to any others? Nah. But that was the only one that mattered.
Who
And
was
they
the announcer
remembered.
that night?
It was none other than Michael Buffer.
Was it?
It was Michael
So
Buffer.
you didn't get Buffer, did you?
I managed to get Buffer.
He's usually, you have to pay for that voice.
We didn't pay today.
Okay, thank God
We
for
got
that.
no budget.
Thank God, because there's not a penny in the pot.
Don't ask me for any money.
Well,
Dave.
should we hear what Michael Buffer had to say?
Yeah, let's see what my
do
phone
it.
say. How about this, Mr. Michael Buffer?
Oh, yeah. I'm good.
We're good. Legend of the sport. You did a few of my fights, which was a pleasure. One of which was at Wembley Stadium. We're back at Wembley Stadium. Are you looking forward to the fight first and foremost?
It's, first of all, that venue is probably one of the most exciting venues in the world. We expect 96,000 tomorrow night. That'll be a record for boxing. And there's just nothing like it. The excitement. I mean, when AJ fought Klitschko and you had Frotch and Groves there and, you know, other fights, Tyson Fury fought Dillian White. It's just a great venue. It's exciting. And the fans, you know, I tell people this, I've worked all over the world, every continent. The British fans are the best. There's no doubt about it. They're loyal. They show up. They come early. They're not just there for the main event. And it's just going to be a very exciting night of boxing. I can't wait. I mean, top to bottom, the card is going to be exciting.
Yeah, it really is. It's going to be a great card. It's a great main event. Are you allowed to have a prediction for the main event? Is there anyone you think might edge out the other?
You know, first of all, the 4 best fighters in the world, 3 of them are British. And 2 of them are fighting in this ring, and they're the 2 biggest punchers on Saturday night out of those 4. No doubt about that. A lot of people, they don't think of Dubois as being this big puncher, but he's knocked out 20 of 21 wins. 95% of his victories are by knockout. He's got a great jab. I think the key for him will be start early. He sort of starts out slow in some of his other fights. AJ, devastating punching power from either hand. The referee just has to have the ability to count to 10. It's going to be that type of fight. I don't see it going the distance, and I don't know who's going to win. And if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah. Well, Joshua has fought at Wembley Stadium a few times. He's fought in front of major crowds, and Dubois has that experience of going to Poland, fighting Usyk, and being in the Lions Den. And that. How do you think both fighters will be coping when you're standing there in the ring announcing them, and they're about to ring walk in front of 96,000 fans?
Well, I think you said something very important. AJ at age 31, 32, he has fought at Wembley quite a few times in front of a capacity crowd. He's a fighter that when he makes his entrance, he knows who he is, he knows what he's doing, he walks to that ring with a lot of confidence. Dubois is younger, he's only 26. For heavyweight, that's considered young. But like I say, if he starts early, that's going to be his best opportunity. He's got the power, he's got the skills, and I just don't know what's going to happen. I think it's very exciting, but that ring walk is going to tell you a lot. I really think so.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're a well-travelled man, Michael. You love London, I know. Is there any secret spots that you found on your travels to London? Any secret restaurants? Anything like that where you're like you could recommend? Well, firstly to me, and then to the listeners at home.
If they're secret spots, I can't tell you where they are. But you know what? I leave that up to my wife. She always finds the best restaurants, and London is known for having some great Indian food, and we've done that. And we're vegans, so we're a little bit fussy, but there's a lot of great restaurants, a lot of places to go and see. I've been here so many times. I've done the whole tourist thing over and over, and I'm probably one of the very few Americans that can name all of the 6 wives of Henry VIII in order. So I love coming here.
Oh, brilliant, Michael. Great history buff. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for talking to us. Really appreciate it.
Good to see
Thank you.
I mean, that's 3 for 3, George. The hat-trick ball.
Yeah.
On your debut at a presser running about.
I mean, I think I was the most nervous for Mr. Buffer.
Well, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Do you reckon he remembered you?
No. Absolutely. He's a man of boxing.
Yeah.
And I'm quite memorable.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm sure, my name got reeled off in his, Wembley fights.
Yeah.
He remembered me. He knows me.
So you're in the dressing room, right, before at Wembley, and he's doing he doesn't do the let's get ready to rumble until you're in the ring, but he starts his announcing when you're in the dressing room. Starts talking about stuff, doesn't he? And getting.
Well, does he? I can't hear that.
Because then he obviously announces you into the ring.
Well, the thing is, when
you're backstage.
No, but this is the thing, Derek,
Okay, take
right?
us
We're
in.
not in your call now.
No, true.
Where
You're far back.
Right? The dressing room is bigger than your call at Wembley Stadium.
Is it? Yeah.
Right? Or not there or thereabouts.
Did you get home or away?
I got home.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
I don't know. That's the only one I asked for.
Right.
And then obviously I'm trying to reel Frotchy in, trying to reel him in. I got the home. I'm home. I'm in London.
What's it like in there?
It's lovely.
Big.
Yeah.
Get any free stuff? Like Lucozade and that?
Yeah.
Do they?
But I don't drink any of it because I'm paranoid someone's going to spike me and I'm going to fail a test. So they have nothing. But I don't know if there was an official sponsor, drink sponsor, but it's cool. The seats are comfy.
Do you need that, though? Don't you want a bit like rough and ready, like you're cool?
No, because you
be-
don't want to end up like Don Charles, fucking spewing your guts up like fucking 20 minutes for the main event.
True.
You want it clean and crisp, not crisp. Yeah?
No.
No. Right.
Lost me
I lost it,
completely.
yeah. I almost said the wrong word, and then when I tried to repeat the wrong word, I couldn't do it. So, yeah, you're in the changing room.
Yeah, because it's miles back in it. The tunnel goes down, and then you're in the bowels of the stadium.
Yeah.
Can you hear anything?
No,
you hear
not
80,000
really.
Really?
No, you can't. I don't think so. Maybe, don't forget, it's like there's like multiple doors that
Yeah.
open. It's not just like one door and then you're out in the stadium.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you hear stuff at Manchester Arena?
No,
Really?
I don't think so.
Hold on a sec. So in films, when they're in the dressing room,
But
they
it
can hear
depends.
the...
So Manchester
That's
Arena,
bollocks.
there's two tiers of changing rooms.
Yes.
And I still don't know my way around the back there, really. But they're good size. But you're imagining a football stadium that's pretty new when I boxed there.
Yeah.
It's plush and it's got to fit, a team within it. So it's a good size. You're not
beast.
just like one or two backing dancers.
Yeah.
You've got 11
everyone
aside.
in. Yeah, that's true.
And the rest.
Physio,
Physio.
masseuse.
Masseuse. There's a little table
Manager.
there. massage table.
Okay, well, that's interesting because I always imagine you're sat there and it's like a din, but it's not. And
No.
Okay, does that steady the nerves a bit? Because you don't quite realise the magnitude of it until you walk out, or would you rather it was a bit more on top in the dressing room?
There's so Wembley Stadium, like many of the big fights, but Wembley Stadium in particular, because if I remember, the change rooms are quite white. You know, it's got that really clean, clinical feel. If someone said to me, "You're in A&E," I'd believe them, which is not what you want to be thinking, obviously, before the fight.
Yeah.
When the doors do brush open, there's always people scurrying past with lanyards who you don't recognise. So you're like, well, there's a lot of people working in tonight, people who I don't really recognise. So it feels like a big event. You've got security on the door because you don't want people wandering in and out, because lots of people want to wander in and check on you. And sometimes they can be official, sometimes not, but they usually have got something they want you to sign and not legally.
Right, as in like a signature?
As in a little bit of memorabilia.
Fuck off, that's happening before you fight.
Well, yeah. And you don't know and you don't know if you need them or not. So you're like, yeah, sure, mate. You don't know if he's the one who's going to collect your piss after, and if he's going to spike it with a bit of Chisora's weed or something. You know?
Yeah.
So there is that big time feel, and then I suppose there might be a little bit of nervous energy in the changing room amongst your team, and like you're thinking, Derek Chisora's team, Don Charles, who's just recovered from a horrific flu sort of bout.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a little bit nervous? Or is he just calm and stoic and therefore trying to put on a performance
for Don Charles? He had big nights with Chisora, but he's obviously never had anything like this. 96,000 world heavyweight title fight.
The Joshua team, I think, fair to say, a lot more experienced. Joshua, of course, but Ben Davis has been involved in big fights.
Yeah,
but
Fury.
Their relationship, I feel like he's still bedding in. This is their biggest challenge yet, and therefore, it's not that banana skin panic about like an Ngannou fight where just go and do your job and you splosh him. But heaven forbid if it doesn't happen, this is embarrassing. There's egg on everyone's face. Whereas Dubois, he's much more of a force to be reckoned with, but. So does that mean he's more nervous or is he more relaxed? Because it's more of a challenge, we're more up for it. Who knows? Yeah. So I'll be fascinated to see. I think Joshua seems like a cool, calm guy. I can imagine he leaves no stone unturned. Yeah. I can imagine he's got a Dan Lawrence-esque playlist that sort of ramps up as the evening builds on. It could just be Massive Attack on repeat. Just dialing into pulsating into the blood. I mean, I think anyone who's not doing that might be missing a trick there. Yeah. I had a little playlist and it did sort of vamp up, but I'm like a bit of a nerd. Like I used to have like my little indie rock sort of punk rock playlist. Yeah. So you can't listen to that for 3 hours. You'll be exhausted.
Daniel Dubois, that playlist could be anything, couldn't it?
I reckon it's Jackson 5. So it's Motown.
You reckon?
Absolutely, Motown.
I reckon it could be.
And I think he's got that Motown rhythm about him.
Okay, let's talk about a rhythm. Like, how does he win this fight, Dubois? Like, we know he's got this ramrod jab, and he attacks with it really well. Like, Usyk found that. I mean, they all found that out, apart from, Joe Joyce obviously beat him. He lost to Usyk in the end. But how does he win this fight?
I think if you
because he's a massive underdog.
Yeah, I think if either man can settle into their rhythm, it favours Joshua to settle into his rhythm more so than Dubois. As in, if Dubois doesn't put some sort of energy onto Joshua at the start to push him out of his comfort zone, to make him fight outside of his time and in his rhythm, once he's in that state, then I think he beats Dubois.
Okay.
Knockout. Well, it's hard to write against it because you think any time, at any moment, if one lands from either guy, they both have the capability of really buzzing and hurting the other one, and then the finish is going to come. I think they're both great finishers. I wouldn't pick one in front of the other in terms of being able to close the show. Joshua, I've seen time and time again, close the show really well. Yeah. But if I'm Daniel Dubois, I'm thinking, right, well, I need to start relatively quick. I need to be, super warm in the changing room, maybe on the point of breaking a sweat, so that by the time that first bell comes, and he's ring walking second deck, he's got that luxury. By the time that first bell comes, sharp head movements, sharp feints, sharp rhythm, where I want to be twitching Anthony Joshua out of his skin. You know, the pressure's on Joshua. He's the favourite. He's the one with the experience. He's the one who many people are picking to win, and loads of people are expecting to win. You know, he's still the A side of this fight, even though as the challenger.
He's the biggest commercial draw by
he
a
is,
long
isn't
way.
he? So I think it's much better to twitch him out of his skin, to try and get him worried and unsettled, and preferably land something heavy on him in those first couple of rounds, Derek. And Dubois, if he misses that opportunity, which might be his best opportunities to happen from that first bell, then it might be a tough night for him. What are you thinking?
I think it's going to go one or two ways. I think you're right. If Dubois is scared, tentative, freezes for even a second, this could be a 2-round job. This could be Anthony Joshua walk through him. Like, that could happen. He punches hard enough that if he lands on Dubois swallowed so many right hands against Hrgovic. That's a worry. You say it obviously testament to therefore to a good chin, but it can't hold up forever. Look at Joe Joyce, got wiped out by Zhilei Zhang after eating shots like that for fights and fights and fights. So if Dubois starts slow, freezes, and Joshua lands on him, he could take him out. Equally, if he does it like Hrgovic did, and Dubois is still standing after 4 or 5 rounds, I think Joshua, it becomes a very interesting fight. Joshua in deep trouble then. And we've seen that Joshua, when he gets hurt, he stays hurt. Even against Dylan White, who hit him with that left hook, obviously against Andy Ruiz, where he's down, gets back up, but he's then up and down constantly. I think, obviously, it's not a distance fight. Surely not. I wonder what happens with Joshua. Obviously, we've seen this new version of this Ben Davison version where he's walked through Wallin, he's walked through Ngannou, and now it's like, oh, well, now he's this beast again. What happens when he gets hit on the chin? Wallin didn't hit him on the chin, neither did Ngannou. What happens if, like, Dubois really wobbles him? Will he go back into his shell? Will he start overthinking things? Like, I think that's why it's a fascinating fight. It's like the perfect, pure heavyweight fight. Could go at any moment.
Yeah.
But
I'm hoping for Hagler Hearns 3.
I genuinely think it could be like Eddie Hearn has suggested, though, when we spoke to him this week, he said...
What do you mean we? We haven't spoken to him.
Nah, not you, mate. You weren't invited to this one.
Whatever you spoke about, I don't even don't reference it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what he said.
All right, what did he say?
He said that everyone's talking about Dubois as this big finisher, big puncher. He was like, well, who's he really taken out in one shot? And you kind of understand that, don't you? You see what he's saying there. He's like, if Joshua gets hit, it doesn't mean it's curtains, like Frank Warren has suggested.
Yep.
It might be that actually it will become a bit more attritional, and then maybe it goes a distance, but I don't see it.
No.
I think
hope
someone's going to get stunned and hurt and knocked out.
Yeah, I hope so too. Do you know who? Are we going to say it or not? What do we think?
No.
You're not going to pick one, no? I picked Joshua when his fight was first made, but not
same.
convincingly. And then as
You
it's
should
got
never
closer,
change.
I've done that thing.
Yeah, you should never change. That's the old adage. Never change.
Why?
Well, because you're always wrong.
If I can
all
change,
this stuff, sitting watching.
Then you can. Have you not seen Rocky 4?
Yeah, but
it's all about
watching
change.
all that should not, like, what you feel at the start in your gut. And equally, it's one of those ones where it's almost pointless to make a decision, make a prediction.
I don't want to see a decision
because if Joshua gets Joshua could be winning the fight. It's over. Dubois hits him with a shot. Like
Hagler Hearns, yeah.
Hagler Hearns.
Who's Hagler? Who's Hearns?
Dubois is Hearns.
Do you think? Yeah.
Or is he?
It might not be.
No. Well,
let's see.
I'll tell you what. Do you know the beauty of boxing?
What is
We've got to find out on Saturday. They've got to have a fight.
Yeah. Are you going?
I'll be there. Of course. You'll be there in your press seat.
Yeah, I'm going to sit in a press seat that way. Yeah.
Take the typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get some more interviews. Yeah, I can't wait, mate. I mean, obviously, all Wembley fights, we have to thank you for them anyway, because it was all your idea in the end, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so all of this, they should be thanking you. I mean, I don't know why they didn't give you a guard of honour.
Yeah. They didn't, did they?
No. Wankers.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Saturday night, and the podcast is back. Does that mean we're going to talk about the fight on...
Let's see how we go.
I mean, let's see.
It's
a
Hagler
draw.
Hearns.
Yeah.
We can't not, can we?
No, we can't not.
But you like to scurry off on a line bike as soon as the fight's finished.
Yeah, I do. It's true.
So,
no, I don't.
I
I'll wait around for a presser. Weird as well, Wembley. You don't know what's going to happen. You really don't. Did you?
I didn't know.
No.
I didn't know what happened to Wembley.
Did you do a presser?
I'm pretty sure I did, because it would have been damage limitations at that point. I had to savour or salvage, I should say, the reputation. But whether they're doing a presser or not Saturday night, Deck, You ain't fucking going. Me and
Oh,
you are
right.
doing a pod, yeah?
Yeah, we'll do a pod.
We'll do the pod.
We'll do a pod.
We'll break it
This
before
means
anyone else.
everyone can stop messaging saying, "Where's the pod?"
No, keep
'Cause it's
messaging.
here. Keep messaging.
Just keep messaging. Just
Yeah, go on,
keep
keep
sharing. So like, subscribe, and
Yeah.
thank everyone.
We're back. Thanks.
We're
for-
back.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's it, Deck. We're back Sunday. Thank you
Yeah.
to Botovo.
Oh, Botovo.
They're still in it.
Yes.
We're still there.
Arta
and,
Botobio.
and you can, and I'm sure you are watching us on YouTube, so please do subscribe to the channel.